everybody, welcome to Queer Games Heck Yeah Late Night Edition. A little bit of a psych out for you all. If you watched the previous stream or the previous video, I rushed through a game called US Route 160, and I was all like, oh, I've got so much work to do, I wish we had more time, blah blah blah. And we got to a really great point in the game, and it was like, sadly, this is where we must leave it. But you know what? I decided I'm going to do a rare part two. So this is like a special double episode of Queer Games Heck Yeah. This is the best of both worlds of, you know, well, this is the Who Shot JR double episode of The Simpsons. Who Shot Montgomery Burns? It's so, normally I do Queer Games Heck Yeah in the morning, but I'm doing it in the evening now, today. So it's just like the whole world is turned upside down. But let's get into it. Like, if if you just tune into this one, you may want to go back and watch part one. But as a brief recap, we're a runaway bride, and we're driving down the road into the desert, and we're sort of, we've reached the end of the world in a way, and there's this sort of giant snake creature blocking our way, stone snake, and a strange diner. And we've kind of got a choice to, go back. Um, you know, Maybe we should go back to the wedding. That's the choice in front of us. But it's like, is it a real wedding or is it all in our mind? But I actually didn't choose what option we were going to do, because I was like, okay, choosing this is like too good, too hard for me to do. So I'm going to end it here on this delicious choice. But now we're back with part two. Now we actually have to make that choice. Okay. Um, you dart back to your car, stumbling in the desert sand. Foot on the ignition, you floor it. The neon lights, yes, so we're driving away. You swear the snake hisses at you. Yes, my ex-boyfriend used to hiss when he lost an argument. We've already done that. You keep driving down a hell of your own making, or you can go back home and make things right. You can't. Go back. I guess good drama. Let's go for going back. You can't run away from. Already, I wish we hadn't gone back. It's like, why would you go back to that situation? You listen to the voice inside you. I guarantee you, it was the right voice. It was telling you the right thing. Ignore the little voice inside you at your own peril. I say it's almost always right. I mean, it can really mess up things, but it's always right to do so. You can't run away from this. It's too painful. It's too important. You swerve the car round. Don't treat Elaine's the car. Don't treat Elaine like that, thank you. Time to go back. Punisher. You cruise down the road, mind racing, hand shaking. Flashes of memories echo through your brain, flooding your vision. December. It's a chilly evening in December. He takes you to the old colonial he grew up in, perfectly curated for a storybook life. Both of his parents are alive. He has dinner with them every Sunday night. You try to be invested in the pictures of him at his youngest. Red ruddy cheeks and altar boy blessings. You feel dread curl like a gut punch to the stomach. Because they're betting on a losing dog. Just waiting for the day you turn around and get shot. Oh. March. It's a quiet morning in March. You told him you're going for a long walk. Her hands are rough and calloused. You run your fingers over the raised ridges. You remember something about palm lines. Some nonsense about fate and heart in the creases of the skin. And the swimming pool, if my schoolyard palm readings are led to be accurate. She giggles at the furrow in your brows. She tells you to stop thinking so hard. Lips taste like the crispest Granny Smith. I do believe the Granny Smith is... Is it an Australian apple? Am I patriotic about an apple? I don't know. And is that correct anyway? I think it's some fellow over in Western Australia. Oh no, New South Wales. Okay. The Granny Smith, also known as a green apple or sour apple, is an apple cultivar which originated in Australia in 1868. Yeah. Um, hmm, that's pretty cool. Blessed are the people who make like hybrid fruits. July. It's a suffocating day in July. That's summer. He argues with you about your withdrawn silence. It's ironic that he never lets you get a word in. You escape out to her grandfather's old farm. She shows you the baby lambs first. Admits that she named her favorite after your nickname. You kiss her until your lungs hurt. You end up under the shade of an old cypress tree. Watch the wind gently rustle the leaves, her head in your lap. Your hands smooth out work-worn tangles in her hair. She asks about your day. You say it's been fine. You try to hide the fact that you've cried every night. She reads between the lines and holds you tight. It's a terrifying thought that someone cares enough to ask you how you are. Takes enough of an interest to remember you exist. You want to hide, but find the courage to revel in it. This character, you know, uh, they haven't had much love in their life, I think. What a pity. August. It's a painful day in August. Wedding planning is in full swing. You watch a couple hold hands on Main Street. It reminds you of an old movie. The man puts his hand out to ask for a dance. The woman accepts for him and no one else. The woman accepts for him and no one else. It doesn't seem fair. You've held his hand exactly twice. Once when he proposed, the other so he could show off the ring. Is that him or you? Is that him or us? I don't know. Rode into town. You drive all night, wasting no time. You finally make it back. Familiar dirt roads, wooden crosses. Well, I hope we're going to her, not to him. Unless there's good drama. You finally make it back. Familiar dirt roads, wooden crosses in yards. What? It's raining today. Barely anyone on the street. You find her on the road, not far into town. Oh no. She's face down in the mud, the rain soaking through her dress. She could almost be sleeping. Through your grief-addled mind, you almost believe it. There are bruises on her wrists and ankles. A macabre painting of black and blue up her forearms and around her neck. They gave her hell, she gave it back. Everybody knows, everybody knows. You collapse in the mud, shivering in the rain. You don't know what to do, what to think, who to be, how to be. She was always so brash, she was never good at playing pretend. She was alone when it happened. You were on the road, sipping coffee with a pale imitation. The world is cruel, she's in the mud. You were too late. Ending 2. Wow. Ah, well, I'm glad we came back for that ending. I was not expecting that. I guess it's the 70s. Not that violence doesn't exist today, but I think I like to believe it was a lot more common back then, or that's an odd way to put that. It was never good, but yes, I grew up in the suburbs, and I've always felt a little bit uneasy about the idea of growing up in a country town. I think that would be really just everybody knows your business. That sounds horrible to me. Yes, well, I don't want to. I can't read. I'm not rereading the bits we've read, especially if you watch part 1 if you want the whole thing. But I guess we can follow the other paths. We'll do one more path. Oof. Stands so. Yes. Wait a minute. Oh wait, we get a name. We might get a name. Okay. Taking your eyes off the long stretch of asphalt, you take in what seems to be the remains of sandstone canyons on your left. Stretching for miles on end, the wind-worn sandstone formations look like piles of dried mud. Some lopsided and rough, others tall and spindly, standing tall and casting long shadows on the dirt. It's odd. You don't know jack heck about rocks, but something seems off about the structures, sort of like on another planet. You were never good at school, but maybe a planet like Mars? Yeah, Mars. The radio crackles with static. Valerie, Valerie, pay attention. Are you even listening? I'll only say this once. The sound makes you jump, the wheel swerving slightly to the right before you gain control. No one ever calls you Valerie except you had a high school teacher, a science teacher once. Real prickly sour woman who refused to call you Val. She never liked you, never saw anything in you. It's not surprising her science class was the last one you took. Oh, I hate that. School was hard. Prayers in the morning, homework in the evenings. Looking out classroom windows, dead grass and a rusty swing set, faded billboards said the end is near. Call 1-800 Jesus for absolution. You had a few friends for a year. They all got picked up before you did. You didn't mind waiting outside. I read that very seriously. They all got picked up before you did, as if because I wasn't quite sure what it meant. Like they were rounded up, but actually no. I think it just means that at the end of the day, they just got picked up before you did. It didn't need the gravitas I gave it. You didn't mind waiting outside for your mum's busted up Cadillac. It gave you time to try and understand your feelings. Why you always liked girls the way you should have liked boys. No one stuck around long enough for you to learn why. Everyone knew why except you. Your teacher saw it too. Put you in the naughty desk at the back of the room, had you stay after school, write down Bible verses until your hands bruised. Were you a child of God or a spawn of the devil? Did you deserve love? Or were you already gone too far? You were so confused, no one would soothe you. You were 16 when your mama pulled you out of school. Not one person questioned how it would change your future. You didn't mind scrubbing floors and kitchen counters so your mama could keep a housekeeping job. You didn't want to learn about tornadoes. You wanted to chase them. Back to the road. You take a deep breath. Yes, we've been here. We've been here. We've been here. We've been here. We have to stay awake. Wait. Diner? Yes. Ooh, stone statue? Yes. Take a right. Park? Ooh. Do you know what would make this coffee even better? This is the cow has come up to, the cook has come up to us with the coffee. And we say, you? He chuckles, brushes the hair out of his face. All right, you got me. Knew you would. His eyes gleam with humor, curiosity. You shrink back inside yourself. Something clicks, a thought unlocks. You're struck with a sense of deja vu. This is how it started. The memory. You met him in the evening, at a diner, on Mulberry Street, in the middle of May. That is spring in the Northern Hemisphere. He wasn't the cook, but he was there, in 100-degree heat. I think that's 30 degrees plus Celsius. In his three-piece suit, that's 8 pieces in metric, reading his Bible. Like he owned the place. In some ways he did. He was rich with God-given faith. You sat at the bar, the coffee was bitter. He smiles at you. Says he'd seen you at a church. Says he's seen you at church. He makes you queasy. His sermons are like poison. Every careful word kills you inside. He sits with you, orders you something you don't like. The dread bubbles up like black ooze. Your mama would have loved him. You force a smile. Feels wrong. But you can fake it, right? Can I get you something else? Can you tell me where I am? Turn around. You have to run. Now we're not going to go back. I believe this might be... okay. You can't turn around. The idea of facing everyone, of facing him, of facing her, it burns into your skin and chars every nerve ending you have. She would never forgive you for running away. Well, that's not a problem anymore. For leaving her behind like an afterthought. You made the right choice, the safer choice. You protected her. You're a damned fool. 2 lies don't change the truth. The dam breaks. Thoughts flow like a river, flooding everything in sight. You can't catch your breath. You can only see desert, but you swear you're drowning. Ruminate on the past. Fancy. The thoughts come rushing into the forethought of your consciousness, like a waterfall. How am I supposed to read this? You finally thrown your life away. Good riddance. These are your thoughts. Okay. You've finally thrown your life away. Good riddance. That man was better off without you. What did you think you could offer him? You didn't even love him. You sinner. You harlot. This is identical to my own inner voice. This is spot on. No wonder your mother died. Oh. And the one person who ever saw anything in you, you left them in the rear view. She probably wants you to rot in hell like the others. Panic. Your vision blurs, everything twisting into itself. You're having trouble catching your breath. Your lungs only allow for short, gasping breaths. Your doctor always said that your brain was broken somehow. Oof. That's a dodgy doctor. Too prone to stress and ruin, they told your mother, as you sat in a desk chair, too small for your feet to touch the floor, too young to understand. Your hands are on the wheel, but your world is spinning. That familiar feeling of panic washing over you like an old enemy. Spoiled milk gone sour. The walls of the car are crumpling in on you, you're sure of it. There's no space to move, to breathe, to exist. You feel yourself crumbling, the walls of your existence turning to dust and floating up, up, above your body. Float. In the panic and the fury and the sadness, the furniture in your mind whipping against your delicately built walls, your internal world shakes, the levees break. Only one thought emerges from the blood and the dust. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows you're the key to my heart. No use hiding anymore. Ring. Oh, it was an alarm clock. I took a guess that it was the telephone ringing, and I got it wrong. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You wake up drowning in sweat. The piercing metallic clang of the alarm clock cuts through the air. You slap the alarm quiet. It felt so real, but you're still here. Pale blue walls, worn twin bed, thick summer heat, cicadas in the yard. You're getting married today. You swallow hard. You're lying to yourself today. You see open highway, a crooked grin, holding hands between the front seats. You exhale. Your life begins today. Ending 3. Holding hands between the front seats. All right. I feel like that ending implies we took her with us. So I guess that is a happier ending. I mean, I feel like we got the worst ending first. Like, we die and presumably our love is dead. And then the second one, we survived, but our love is dead. And in this one, it's implied that we both survive. And I'm kind of like, did we fluke on that ending, or did the game, was there like code logic behind there that only gave you the third ending if you played it the 3 times? That was, what a little jam that was. That was so good. We didn't really find out much about this person or the people around them. Like, I don't think we ever really learnt their names, but we learnt so much about their emotional world. That was very good. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on Queer Games Heck Yeah. Really excited to finish a game that's very rare because we only have that half hour. And very excited to come back to a game which is also very rare. Yeah. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see you around.